Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at the brand new Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Cup. Now if you are in the store or at your house, you can get this figure at Target or Walmart. I'm not so sure if you can get it that much anymore because it was released in February, but I believe you could still get it at the store. If not, you can order it on HasbroPulse.com. And in this video, we're going to take a look at some of the features Cup has and some of the features I found very fascinating. And we're going to take a look at the box, the backdrop, and finally Transform Cup. So without further ado, let's take a look at some of Cup's features that I found really fascinating. And now bringing in a Cup for a closer view, we're here on one feature I did find very fascinating is if you look at his eyes, you can see that they are a bright blue color, and if you put your finger on the back right here, they turn off. And actually there is a transparent plastic between the back of the head and where the eyes are that may at certain distances when the light touches it, it makes the eyes shine, and I really did love that feature, and I really hope they did apply it to every 86 figure, but unfortunately they just applied it to Cup and Blur, and I really hope in the future we'll get more figures with this feature. Also, one other thing I did find fascinating is all the molding and the paint applications that do come with this figure are incredibly fascinating. I do like the Autobot logo over here, all the parts and everything. The back is nice, although he does kind of seem a bit like a shell former, but I checked him out. He's like more of a normal Transformer. Overall, the top is okay. I would have painted this black part to blend in with this color and not black, because that is not how he looks like in the film, and the box art is completely different. He did come with this Energon canteen. I'm not so sure how he used it in the film, and he did come with this blaster as well, which actually I found very fascinating, and the blaster looks extremely accurate to how he looks like in the film. Other than that, the figure is just one of the best 86 figures, and if you do have Studio Series Hot Rod, the 86 Hot Rod, and you could put him aside with Cup, and then right there you can make a lot of classic movie scenes with Hot Rod and Cup. And just for a 360 spin of how Cup looks like, personally I think that Cup looks amazing in both his robot and car form, and I'll show you later on in the review how to transform him in his car form. But personally I think Cup just looks amazing of all the detail that is implied for the legs, the arms, and the back. And one feature that I did really find super fascinating is that his legs and arms have the capability of pegging off because in his iconic movie scene is where he fights a squid and he's getting torn apart and everything, and then Hot Rod saves him and stuff like that. I forgot how the movie goes, but how this is designed, it does have this slot, this little hole right here, and it does have this post that you could just take off and put back on, and I'll show you later on in the review how he looks like in his backdrop, of how to pose him in certain ways, and one way that I did find kind of funny and kind of cool at the same time. So you can have his arms, like taken off and well, like or have them on, or you could nearly take off all of his limbs, and then he could just be some little limbless little transformer there. And now let's do a size comparison between Cup and other 86 Transformer Studio Series figures that I do have so far. So here we can see that Cup is about nearly the same size as Hot Rod. As I did mention in my Hot Rod review, that they are nearly about the same size. That Hot Rod is a Voyager class because of his accessories. And just looking at the scale between these two figures, I don't think you could see Hot Rod's head all that well because his arms are in the way. But looking at the scale between these two figures, you can see that it is completely accurate to the film of how both of these characters do look like when they do stand closer together. And now For another size comparison, another Voyager size comparison, a Transformer 86 figure I never showed in any of my reviews for a size comparison until now. Studio Series 86 number 5 Voyager class Scourge. Now, right here we can see that Scourge is about nearly bigger than Cup. Cup's head nearly just makes it to the Decepticon logo on his chest right there, and we can see Scourge towers over Cup and completely obliterates his size. And now, for our next size comparison, here we have Studio Series number 86 Deluxe class Autobot Blur. And just taking a look of how Cup and Blur do look like together, I think it's quite fascinating of the scale between these two figures of how Blur does look like toward Cup. And Blur, so far being my least favorite of the 86 Wave 1 so far, and Cup being my second least. Although I do love these figures, they're very amazing. I just mean by least, it's not like they're bad figures, but they're actually excellent figures. I mean, like, it was hard for me to decide who was the best of the 86 because these figures were just so like amazing, all of these figures. And well, back to the size comparison, here we can see that they're nearly enough the same size and it's completely accurate. And for one final size comparison, here we have Studio Series 86 Leader Class Grimlock with Autobot Wheelie being compared to Studio Series Cup. Now, personally, I think this scales nicely to Grimlock size, to Cup size in the Transformers film. And if you do look closely, you can see that Wheelie at the top of the screen over there is aiming a slingshot, and it looks like he's about to hit Cup. What? So technically the size comparison between these figures is amazing and is completely accurate to the film. And personally, I recommend you do get Cup to complete your 86 Transformers Studio Series 86 collection. And I have been reading your comments, and one person said I shouldn't be named Dino Master and instead TF Master, and actually I was thinking of that, but I'll see, because I wanted to change my name anyways for my YouTube channel, so I'll see what I come up with, and if not, maybe I'll choose that. And okay, moving on to the review. So without further ado, let's take a look at some Cup's box and the backdrop that I found quite fascinating. So without further ado, let's take a look at the box and backdrop. So here we have Cup's box, and personally I think that the box looks nice of how his animated version looks like, although I did remember Cup being a little bit skinnier, and honestly if they were using the CGI print for Cup, I really appreciate it if they made the figure itself big and thick as how Cup looks like on this little animated render here. And here, just a zoomed in more picture of Cup. Here we can see 8602 Studio Series Deluxe Class. He transforms in 21 steps from a robot to a Cybertronian car form. And then his iconic movie scene is the Sea Squid Showdown, when Cup struggles to free himself from the tentacles of a giant squid. And here we can see some product shots, some original prototype product shots of Cup in both his robot and car and truck form. And on the final side of the packaging just has the same CGI we did see right here, but just was a black background and the 86 number right there. And taking a look at the bottom of the box, we have nothing except telling us how many accessories are in the figure and where it was made and stuff. Right here, Transformers the movie, Cup 86, Transformers the movie, made by Hasbro and Takara Tomy. And those were Cup's features. And now let's take a look at the backdrop, which I did find fascinating. And I'm not so sure if it was 100% accurate, but I have not seen this scene in the movie. I just know about it and everything. So without further ado, let's take a look at the backdrop of Autobot Cup. So here we have Cup in with the backdrop, and we have him posing in the backdrop, which actually recreates the iconic movie scene in the classic Transformers '86 movie. We can see the giant squid in the background, and I believe it is on the ocean floor or something like that. But we can see a robotic squid in the background, and then you can pose Cup in several different ways that you like to recreate the live action. I mean the cartoon movie. And honestly, I would choose this position where it looks like he's completely injured, and then he's using his best efforts to destroy the giant squid. Or if not, you could completely take off all of Cup's parts, and which would nearly make him dead, and you could just have him. You could just have this little figure right here, just completely like not without any parts. So you could just have him like that. Or one way that I did like that I do put him in most of the times is where he's complete, but just one of his arms is torn off. So so personally, I would leave him like this, somewhat like this, so it could look like and just have the arm looks like it's dropped or something like that. But overall, I do love the backdrop of how his backdrop looks like, and recreates the iconic classic Transformers scene from the 1986 movie. So without further ado, let's transform Cup, and let me show you where his accessories go and untransform him at the end. So without further ado, let's start to transform Cup in his Cybertronian truck form. So the first thing you're going to have to do to transform Cup into his Cybertronian truck form is simply remove his Energon canteen. Right here, I did not show you full detail earlier in the review, but it does have some transparent plastic right there and right here. So, and it does have a tab right here, so just to show you. And then now his blaster, just to show you as well. It looks like the movie, like nice little hollow dents and everything. And those were his accessories, just for a closer view, and I did not show you before. Okay, so without further ado, let's transform Cup. So the first thing you're gonna have to do, one step that I did not like, is simply just push this up like this. Simply disconnect the backpack piece right here, and then after that, unfold the wheels. And they do sometimes have a tendency to take off, but that is okay. After that, unclip the shoulder pads right here, unclip them right here, and then make them go like that, and then just simply, I believe you push, whoops, and then that is one piece that you can disconnect from the figure itself as well. I believe you do push like that so that you can transform it. Just to show you again, on the other side, just push it like that. Repeat the same process for both sides, and then after that, you're gonna have to, I believe, what's it called? Just make sure that these parts are separated, and then just connect this if they are disassembling or anything. So then after that, unfold this backpack piece right here. Make sure it is unfolded like that. Then make sure that this, I believe it does have to cover right here, or hold on, yeah. You just, I believe, I completely nearly forgot how to transform Cup. Oh yeah, you have to fold it somewhat like this. Make sure that it is straight though, and then simply just tab it down like this with a reasonable amount of force. So just tab it in right there, and then just, as it is kind of nearly impossible to put it in, and it is kind of hard to put it in, and there. So just make sure that piece is connected, and we can nearly see the car form nearly done. So, and without further ado, let's move on to the leg segment of the transformation. So hold on, let me just tab this in one more time because it disassembled again. And then just untab these. Then the knees right here, you're gonna have to unfold them like that. Then put this kneecap back down. Then do the same process right here. Put it down. And then after that, his toes, you're gonna have to fold them in like that. And then after that, make sure these doors are folded out and this is folded out as well. So do the same process to this side. Make sure it folds out and everything. So make sure it does connect. And then after that, make sure that this closes in on this right here. And make sure they do align properly to peg into this square slot, which actually absolutely makes no sense at all. Why it's gonna go in a square slot and not a circular slot like shown in like a circular slot, because his hand is has the form of a circle where all where weapons go and everything, which is kind of strange why Hasbro chose a rectangle to tab in, but actually it fits nicely and everything. After that, you're gonna have to make sure everything tabs in on the sides. Make sure that these parts do connect to like the wheels and everything, and just make sure everything does connect as it is kind of a complicated, like it is a simple transformation but at the same time a bit complicated. So there you have Cup in his Cybertronian truck form, and some thoughts about his Cybertronian truck form that I do like. Some things I did like is that it does have the Autobot logo, but that is in fact his chest, and actually it does look accurate to the film, and you could do stop motions, and then it does drive and everything, and personally I think it looks amazing. Now adding the weapons. So simply all you have to do is just simply get his weapon accessory and just peg it in right here. Make sure that the tabs go in the corresponding slots, and then you could do the same process to this side. So you just simply make sure the tab pegs in. Make sure it's properly aligned like this, and finished. You have Cup into his Cybertronian truck form, and sometimes they do have a tendency to take off, and just simply repeg them, and then you could do stop motions with this figure, and personally I think this figure looks amazing. So without further ado, let's transform Cup back into his robot form. So simply remove all the accessories, and then simply just disconnect the pieces from each other, and then you're gonna notice that the arms will come off. Just simply push them inward like this. Do the same process to that side. Push them in like that, so that it won't disable. And then one thing that is pretty simple to do is that for the toes, just simply untab them like that. Do the same process to that side. Then after that, unfold these parts, and then make sure this part goes in like this. Fix the legs like that. Fix the legs, and then tab this in right here. And then just simply tab them in like that. And then after that, just unfold that piece right there. Then make sure this piece unfolds as well. Make sure it does go down, and then now the front wheels are gonna have to peg inside Cup's body right here. As sometimes they will disable, they'll disconnect, but that's okay. You could just simply have them disconnected inside, but make sure that they are nearly aligned and everything. So then after that, just peg in these pieces right here, and then after that, fold in that piece and peg it inside this spot right here, as it is kind of difficult to do, but just push it in right there. And there, now you have Cup fully transformed in both his robot form and car form. So some final thoughts I have about this figure, Cup, is that this figure is a nice figure. I do recommend getting him. He is a deluxe class, so the price point should be about like nearly $18 to $20. You can get him on Target or Hasbro Pulse, and actually this figure is actually a good figure, and I do recommend it. So that about concludes our review, and that concludes our review. And thank you so much for watching this review. I hope you like it of Studio Series Cup, and actually this figure is worth buying. So without further ado, that concludes our video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get a bunch of likes in this video. And until then, I will see you at our next Transformers Studio Series video. Till then, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.